Finishing off the best race for Warlocks, we'll now take a look at the Alliance races. For tanking, the only things humans would offer over gnomes is a skill with 1 and 2-handed swords, since the base stats are basically equal, with humans having higher base HP but gnomes having way higher base intellect. The sword ratio is only worth mentioning though simply because we don't know how melee heavy the Warlock tank style is going to be. Though personally I'd bet on instant cast Searing Pain being our main threat generator and the only real melee skills we have being auto attacking, the Shadow Bolt Cleave from Metamorphosis rune, and Demonic Charge. However, if it is half melee or highly melee focused, the extra sword skills will come in handy to increase your chances to ultimately hit the enemy. If not, so Gnome simply becomes better in every aspect. Gaining extra crit to possibly make Searing Pain crit more often as our gear grows is hard to pass up to gain basically nothing from the human racials for raiding or dungeons. Plus, that is even before you consider Escape Artists. Dungeons and raids have enough immobilized slow mechanics that you really should be avoiding, but it is always nice to have an emergency get out of jail card when you do mess up. However, there is one last sleeper argument to be made based on incredibly reaching, unconfirmed future rune options. But since the evidence is there, they are taking and modifying spells and abilities from expansions after Classic, and have specifically shown off a lot of the Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King themed abilities that they've turned into runes. There's a possibility the life tap glyph from Wrath of the Lich King, which gives you spell power when you life tap based on the amount of spirit you have, will possibly show up, and if that happens, humans shoot right back into consideration with their 5% spirit racial bonus. Just to be clear, we have not seen any confirmation that this rune is happening, but at the presentation, Blizzard developers said they have completed runes that they will slow roll out with the level cap increases, and others that are uncompleted and still being worked on for level 60. As always, once new information becomes available, we will edit these if things change. I'll keep this short and sweet for the DPS. Adding on to the final thought from the last section, unless the life tap glyph is added as a rune, gnomes will reign supreme as the best DPS race for Warlocks. There is nothing humans will offer if the life tap glyph isn't turned into a rune, but if it ever does materialize, humans will be a very good support option to use with the new Demonic Pact leg rune, being able to reach higher spell power totals over gnomes given equal gear. But again, sadly, if the life tap glyph isn't added in Season of Discovery in some way, gnomes will edge out humans for basically every DPS build for its extra crit from the 5% intellect racial, the plus 15 starting boosted engineering, which is nice to have if you're min-maxing your professions for raid DPS, and Escape Artist as an ace in a hole against certain encounter mechanics. PvP is about the only mode where the two classes sort of equalize, with gnomes maybe taking a slight edge. For this mode, the choice boils down to whether you want to try to catch stealthies via humans' perception before they open on you, or if you'd rather have a reaction against some of their openers via Gnome's Escape Artist. Remember, Escape Artist only affects immobilizations and slows, not stuns. So if a stealthy opens on you with a stun, they'll have to eat it and then try to use Escape Artist to remove the follow-up slow. Extra crit and a jumpstart in engineering for grenades is also hard to turn down in PvP since you want to have as much burst damage as possible to take the enemy down as fast as possible. All that said, we provided some solid examples on why we think Gnome should be your first look when you go to select your race to play as an Alliance Warlock. Our next video will feature what we think is the best leveling specialization to use based on the runes and knowledge we have available, so be sure to check it out.